Welcome back, viewers. You are still tuned into Prime Live. I'm truly proud to be sitting with two incredible South African artists, Jeremy Karodia as well as Mahtaab Hayat, who are incredible at what they do. And they've created a masterpiece called If I Must Die, which is an incredible song paying homage to the struggles of the people of Palestine. But join us as we delve into more of the details behind the inspiration behind this incredible masterpiece. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for joining us on Prime Live.
Thanks for having us.
Jeremy, I'm going to start the conversation with you this evening. I mean, I've had an opportunity to listen to it and it's absolutely incredible. Can you talk us through the inspiration? I know the inspiration came from a poem, but can you tell us a little bit more about where the inspiration for the song came from?
So, it came from the poem itself, If I Must Die. And I first came across it in November of last year, 23. When the genocide started, and it went viral, and I was getting all these messages about this poem. It intrigued me because I wanted to know who the person was, and I discovered it was Refaat Alareer. He was a professor in English literature in Gaza University, which was bombed. And he released this poem. He wrote this poem for his daughter, and they were displaced from each other. And then I read that he was killed. So it kind of like, it was there at the back of my mind. And then I heard in April, I got a message that she was killed. And this is a poem that he had written for her. So when I read that she was killed, it caught my attention. Like, if I must die, will you tell my tale? He wrote it to her, like, would you carry on the legacy? She's not there. What do I do as an outsider not there? It's what inspired the reasoning behind the tale. What do I do as a South African answering his question? Yeah, that's one of the reasons it happened.
In many ways, the poem is also a call to action to make sure that his death is not in vain and that the world will remember his story, and his story, much like the others, much like all the other Palestinians who are suffering at the hands of Israel. So I really commend the efforts to bring together this beautiful message and taking the poem and taking the call to action and sharing it with the world. But Mahtaab, I'm going to bring the conversation to you. I mean, your beautiful voice also features on the track as well, and you played such an instrumental part in terms of creating this masterpiece that I luckily had the opportunity to hear. But can you also talk to us about how, yes, it is about the poem and about the struggles of Palestinian people, but from a South African artist perspective as well, you're also merging this understanding that South Africans have. We have this connection with Palestine when it comes to struggle, when it comes to oppression. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we as South Africans, well, not me, but historically we've been through apartheid, right? And that's what the Palestinian people are going through currently. And I think that's one of the fundamental things that links us together. And so it only makes sense that we stand up for each other. The Palestinian people were there in solidarity with us, and so we are there in solidarity with them. And there are many ways to show your solidarity so Wits students showed their solidarity in setting up an encampment, and they were incredible because it was a bunch of really young women who were pivotal in leading that encampment. And so I think that's just it. We share a fundamental form of oppression, and showing up for each other is how we show solidarity.
I think it's amazing to see the different ways that people are showing solidarity with Palestine, and it's incredible to see the different mediums and ways in which people are able to reach. But Jeremy, something like a track like this or a song has a way of communicating with people from different backgrounds, from different nationalities, from different races, and that's the beauty that poetry or this kind of art form has. It has a way to send a message to people, to create that much needed sense of awareness when it comes to the struggle of the Palestinian people. Can you talk to us about the intention behind the song when it comes to raising awareness regarding the struggles of the Palestinian people?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, the poem itself speaks for itself. It tells you the story. And then the other part of the song is poetry by a young poet that's still in Gaza. His name is Mohammed Moussa. We got permission to write to use his words. But the thing, firstly, I just want to say, Refaat asked the question, if I must die, will you tell the tale? Mo is telling the tale in his poetry. So, yeah, we use that. It's not our words, it's theirs. And that's the message we want to send out.
And I think it was incredibly beautiful said. In closing, Mahtaab, what did it mean to you to be part of this project?
I think as an artist, but also as an academic, and I think it's been incredibly humbling to be able to be part of such a diverse group of artists who put together a lot to bring this to life. It's been so humbling, and it's been very purposeful because, like I said, there are many different ways in order to show solidarity, and this was a great way in order to do so, because poetry transcends borders, music transcends borders, and I think in order to start and spark conversation about what is happening in Palestine, I'm hoping this is able to do that by removing all the complexities people like to put in order to deny a genocide. I'm hoping the main root of human suffering is what comes out in the words of the song.
I love what you said, in that music has a way to transcend language. It transcends every boundary that we create amongst different people and different communities, and it's a way to tell the story. And I love that you've been able to bring this poem to life and bring it to a global conversation, because that's exactly what we want. We don't want to stop talking about Palestine. Every single person in the world needs to continue on this global conversation until Palestine is free. But it's been amazing to have an opportunity to speak to South African artists who are doing such incredible things. I mean, to produce a masterpiece like this is no easy feat, and I can imagine the hard work and the effort that it took to put your heart and soul into bringing this together, and your beautiful voices in the track as well. So thank you for joining us. And before we let you go, how can we actually hear the track? Is it available on YouTube? Where can we listen?
It's available on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It should be on Apple Music as well.
Yeah, iTunes, Apple,
iTunes.
Spotify, and the video is up on YouTube under the Mavericks If I Must Die.
Yeah. And you can also follow the Mavericks Instagram page, because the song's on there as well.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been such a privilege to have you in studio with us. It's been an absolute honor. And viewers at home, we actually have a surprise for you. I mean, we've been keeping it a secret this entire time. And I know you've been listening to us talk about the song and how incredible it is. But we do have an opportunity to share it with you this evening. But viewers at home, on behalf of all of us, it is Assalamu Alaikum. And we will now take you through to If I Must Die. Let's take a look.
And the sea swallows its sound, shed a tear into its soul. Each time that I cry out, the world hushes me with stone. In yesterday's window, the graves of little ones, echoes of silent voices, while the faces are gone. When the sky disarms itself, a small piece of heaven longs upon the ruins as I return to my grave. If I must die, will you tell my tale? You must live to tell my story. If I must die, if I must die, let it be a tale. Let it bring hope
to die again on the hill of a sea's tomorrow, to leave my mother in a lost home, to sleep forevermore, to speak the tongue of birds, rise to a heaven I knew, with no name, home, or equal, as though I'm newly born. If I must die, will you tell my tale? You must live to tell my story. If I must die, if I must die, let it be a tale. Let it bring hope to bring back love. If I must die, if I must die, will you tell my tale? You must live to tell my story. If I must die, if I must die, let it be a tale. Let it bring hope to bring back love. If I must die, if I must die.